You know that feeling, right? You've got this fantastic idea, you're genuinely excited about it, but then when you present it, it just falls flat. You know the content is solid, but something just isn't connecting. Well, today, we're gonna dive into exactly why that happens, and more importantly, how to fix it by mastering professional visual communication. Just think about the last presentation you sat through, or hey, even the last one you gave. Were the slides helping the ideas take off, or were they more like an obstacle course? We've all seen them, slides crammed with tiny text, colors that clash, and backgrounds that are just way too busy. And that's really the heart of the problem. This isn't just about making things look nice. Bad design is actively working against you. It can make a brilliant strategy seem confusing or an insightful analysis look sloppy. Your great idea literally gets lost in all that visual noise. But here's the good news. We can totally flip that around. We can go from obscuring our message to enhancing it. The goal isn't just to make things look pretty. The real goal is to use design as a strategic tool, a tool to make your message clearer, more memorable, and way more impactful. This is what we're talking about when we say professional visual communication. It's the art of deliberately using all those design elements to back up your main point. Think of it this way. Every choice you make, the font, the color, the background, it's an opportunity to either clarify your message or confuse it. And we are here to learn how to clarify. All right, let's start with the first and honestly one of the most fundamental pieces, your font. If your message is the what you're saying, your font is how you're saying it. It's the tone of voice for your words on the screen. Is it shouting? Is it whispering? Does it sound professional and serious, or is it more creative and fun? Seriously, before anyone even reads a single word, that font is already telling a story. You know, a playful, curly font might be perfect for a kid's birthday party invitation, but can you imagine it on a serious financial report? No way. The story your font tells has to match the story you're trying to get across. So, how do we pick the right one? Well, it really just boils down to 3 key things. First, and this is non-negotiable, is it readable? If people have to squint, you've already lost. Second, what's the tone? Does the font feel right for your topic? And third, think about who you're talking to. Is this for a boardroom or a creative workshop? That context changes everything. Okay, now let's build on that with our next big tool, color. Color is pure emotion. It works on a subconscious level to set the mood and guide how your audience feels before they even process a single word. It's one of the most powerful communication tools you have for sure. So you gotta ask yourself, what emotional response am I going for here? You know how blues and greens often feel trustworthy and calm? That's probably because they remind us of the sky and nature, perfect for, say, a healthcare presentation. On the other hand, reds and oranges can create a sense of urgency or excitement, which would be great for a product launch. See? This isn't just decoration, it's a strategic choice. And it's not just about the vibe. It gets really practical too. You absolutely have to have enough contrast for clarity. You know, light text on a dark background or the other way around. And then there's consistency. Using a planned out color palette makes the whole thing feel polished, professional, and totally intentional. And finally, let's talk about the unsung hero of good design, the background. The best backgrounds are kind of like the best movie soundtracks. They support the action perfectly, but you never really notice them. They are the silent partner to your content. This is the million-dollar question right here. A good background is a stage. It makes your words and your images the star of the show. A bad background, though, one that's too busy, too bright, with some weird pattern, it starts competing for attention. It just becomes a noisy distraction that pulls focus away from your actual message. So the rules for a great background are actually super simple when you think about it this way. Number 1, keep it simple. A clean canvas almost always wins. Number 2, make sure there's high contrast so your stuff is easy to see. And most importantly, it cannot be distracting. The background is there to support the message. It should never, ever be the message. So we've got our 3 key ingredients: fonts, colors, and backgrounds. But here's the thing, they don't work alone. The real magic happens when you bring them all together, when you create one cohesive design where every single element is working in harmony for one single purpose, to enhance your message. This chart really gets to the core of it. It's a fundamental mindset shift. You can either see design as decoration, where you're just picking things because they look pretty, or you can see it as communication. And that's where every choice, every font, every color is working together with one clear goal in mind. So how do we actually do this? Well, it's a simple 4-step process. Before you even think about opening PowerPoint or Google Slides, first, clarify your core message. What's the one thing you need your audience to walk away remembering? Only after you know that do you select the fonts, the colors, and the background that best serve that specific message. Message first, design second, always. And that brings us right back to our central idea. Look, this isn't about becoming a graphic designer overnight. It's about becoming a more effective communicator. The goal is simple. Use visual appeal to make your message stronger, clearer, and just better. So the next time you're building a presentation or writing a report, just pause for a second and ask yourself this one simple question. Is every font, every color, every single design choice I'm making right now actively serving and clarifying my core message? If the answer is yes, then you're not just designing anymore. You're communicating with real power.